welcome to the first episode of the Be Nice or Be Quiet podcast. This is one of the platforms we're going to use to get the message out. And you're probably wondering what message that is. It's a message that I am running for president, and we're going to talk about our platform. Why on earth would I do this, especially right now? Because it's time to serve my country. Too old to join the military, so I'll take a less noble position and try to help from there. What I've seen is Washington has become a country club and almost a kingdom, and I don't like that. When the Founding Fathers started this grand experiment, the government was a place you went to serve your country and your fellow citizen, almost grudgingly sometimes, and it didn't seem like it was a job many people wanted. Now it's become a lifetime career. People enrich themselves with money and power, and that's wrong. And I'd like to change it back. One of our brightest presidents said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Well, this is what I can do. This is what I'm going to do for my country. What other country on the planet can a total nobody aspire to be president and actually make it? We're losing that opportunity, though, and the inner circle of Washington and the behind-the-scenes power brokers want to make sure it stays that way. They kind of like how it is. They don't want people like you and me getting in the way. It's time we take it back. Right now I'm more concerned for our country than I've ever been. The division between each other has never been greater. It bothers me. I don't like seeing good people fight with each other because they've been conditioned to do so. There's no need for it other than to keep us fighting amongst ourselves and, more importantly, distracted from what the government's doing. If we're busy going at each other, they can do whatever they want, unchecked. What happened to the productive, respectful discourse we used to have? Now, this has been a long time. This isn't new. This isn't something that's just happened that, oh my gosh, we have to fight each other all the time because of recent presidents or in the last 10, 20 years. It's been going on for a long time. We need to change that back. I've watched my dad and my mom talk to people that they disagree with, and oddly enough, they're still friends. Some of my closest friends have differing opinions than me. Not only are we still friends, but I tend to learn more from them than I do from the people that have the exact same views. More often than not, we have the same end goal, just different ways to get there. The problem is nowadays, we don't take the time to see the end goal. We take it as a personal affront if we are disagreed with. We don't even pay attention to what could be done. We're instantly pissed off and think that somebody's wrong because they disagree with us. They clearly don't like us, don't deserve our time. What I found out is sometimes my friends with differing opinions and thoughts are even right. Hard to believe. It's only sometimes, though. How many of you in the audience grew up exclaiming, "That isn't fair"? Only to have a grown-up respond, "Life isn't fair." Now go take your nap. I think the fairness would be able to take the nap now, but didn't want to then. Life truly isn't fair, and we have to stop pretending we can make it so, especially when the government legislates fairness. Anytime they decide to make a rule, it tends to be a bad idea. We have enough laws on the books. Newton's third law, speaking of laws, states that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. It doesn't say that the equal and opposite reaction is instantaneous, however, and that's a concern. We're all being squeezed pretty hard. Eventually, things that are squeezed too hard for too long break. We aren't in a 24-hour news cycle anymore. We're in an 86,400 second news cycle. It never stops. It's relentless. And if it's not the news, it's social media. If it's not social media, it's people talking at the water cooler. And it never stops. Friends are calling each other sheep or selfish. I wouldn't call one of my friends that had a differing idea a sheep for doing what they think is best, or selfish for doing what they think is best. And I certainly wouldn't call my friends stupid. I have some of the smartest friends on the planet. They have wisdom beyond their years, and simply because they don't do things the way I do doesn't make them stupid. But that's how we are today. None of the above is probably true. People aren't stupid, people aren't sheep, and people aren't selfish. Or maybe they all are in a little bit of a degree. It's destructive and it has to stop. Doing this is counterproductive. We're not getting anywhere other than more and more angry and more squeezed and closer to that breaking point. But I think I can help. The government is way too involved in our day-to-day lives. They are pushing on the good guys the hardest because they want to stay the good guys. And that's what it seems to be right now. Eventually the good guys are going to break. And it'd be nice to be able to stop this whole mess before that happens. I'm not calling this is going to be civil war or revolution or anything like that. I'm just saying this equal and opposite reaction, we're squeezing the good guys pretty hard right now. And eventually they're going to break. It's time to revisit the Constitution, work on our way back to it. Here are some of the things we'll be discussing over time. These aren't in any particular order yet, so bear with me. And you're going to hear some sheets rustling. Dad and I went through these kind of platform ideas a while back, and so they're written on a little notebook paper. These are some of the things I want to talk about, and we will talk about over time because these are the things that need to be discussed. Border security. Clearly we have an issue. We're right in the middle of the generational pandemic, and we have no border security. National defense, another topic we have to talk about. I want to make sure we get back to what it's designed for. It's to be used as national defense, not to project power or nation build. I want to take care of our veterans better. These people, these men and women, put their lives on the line for us. They deserve more help. And I think we can do a better job for them. Welfare programs, we need to restructure, call them what they are. They are welfare. They're not entitlement. Nobody's entitled to any of the money that you've earned. It's not fair to say that they are. Education. We need more cooperation between parents and teachers. More rights for teachers to manage their classrooms. My kids were so fortunate to grow up in this town and have some of the very best and brightest teachers. I cannot wait to interview some of them to get their ideas on how to make things better. I think that if we stop the whole political piece of it and let the teachers teach and keep the political stuff out of the classroom, that'd be great, unless it's a political science class. I'm excited to talk to them. Healthcare. I've got some people I need to get with to help me with that. That's a huge problem in this country. I don't know how to fix it yet, but I know some people that are smart that can help me with it. Taxation. Right now, the tax system is broken. The current administration wants to hire how many thousand more people to work at the IRS? We're going to expand the government so we can better take your money. To me, that doesn't sound quite right. I don't like taxes in general, and my birthday is on income tax day, and paying more after paying too much throughout the year makes me angry. The environment. We have to get off of fossil fuel. They're going to run out. We need to invest in alternative fuels. I'm also not going to be so foolish to say that electric is the answer. I don't know what the answer is right now. I'm fascinated by fuel cells. The grid, unfortunately right now, where everybody had an electric car, we wouldn't be able to power them anyway. The grid's not in good shape, and we have enough generation to do that. So working on some calculations and a formula to show efficiencies. Where should we be placing our money? Where should we be placing our research? That's that. Those are some of the things we're going to be talking about over the next little bit. And hopefully I'll get some feedback and some good stuff from you guys as to what you want to learn about, what you want to focus on, and what I can invest some time in for you. The be nice or be quiet thing means exactly that. We can and will disagree. Sometimes it's going to be strongly, and that's okay. Everybody has to go with their principles. That's how we start this whole deal, and that's how we live our lives. There's no room at my table, though, for hatred or bullies. If that's what you are, I'm not your guy. I will not scream at people. I'm not going to yell and scream and say, call dirty names. I'm not doing that. We're going to get away from that. We're going to get to a nice conversation, figure things out together, and go forward from there. One of the quotes that I like the most from another president that you've heard of is this. It's from Reagan. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. For one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free. We're close to the edge of that right now, and it scares the daylights out of me. I think we can get it back. I know we can get it back, but it's going to take a lot of work. We have a tremendous amount of work ahead of us. It won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. If you want to be a part of something that has never been done, please join me. Help me get the message out. I'm Derek Chowen, and I'm running for president. Thank you for listening.